Okay, welcome along everybody to our training webinar tonight. Tonight we are very lucky to have my very, very good friend BK. We're going to cover to building to bronze. He's going to go over the 8 ways to get paid and what sort of income can you earn if you put in the hard yards. So everybody please welcome BK from Singapore. He's going to chat with us for the next half hour or so and answer some questions at the end.
Thanks, Julie. Hi, everyone. Good evening. And it's actually my privilege and honor to be here to share some time with you. So I'll just go through the compensation plan. I hope this will be a useful and informative training for all of you. So because of my background as a teacher, I used to teach. So I usually like to begin with the end in mind. When students can see the end, they have a better idea of how to approach a subject or a topic or things like that, even with a compensation plan, for example, which is the training subject for tonight, right? So first things first, you actually do not need to be an expert on the compensation plan, okay? Sounds a bit strange to start with this, but it is a fact because seriously, you don't. You don't need to be an expert on the compensation plan. Why? Because many of the top earners aren't. They are not experts on the compensation plan. And so you do not want to let learning the comp plan to be your hang-up, okay, to be your hang-up. So don't let learning the comp plan be your hang-up. You do not need to be an expert on the compensation plan to do this business, okay? You just need working knowledge. You just need working knowledge of the compensation plan. And you learn or you gain the working knowledge by actually working on the business or working the business, okay? So the other thing is, do you want to know the #1 secret to this business, okay? I'm sure all of you would, okay, normally in the classroom setting, the students can respond, but tonight it's more like a webinar. I'm sure all of you want to know, right? So this is the #1 secret. It does not matter what works, it matters what duplicates. So tonight, the way I'm doing this training is I'm actually modeling it after the Asea's corporate training video, but I've just added notes for all of you, okay? So the whole idea is that after this training, you can actually take the same Asea video, the corporate video that is only about 30 minutes long, and you can point your team members to those training videos and you just tell them that, look, this is how I learned the comp plan. In fact, you do not need to know everything. You can go into the video and watch step by step and learn along the way. So the whole idea is that I want to do something for all of you that you can actually duplicate easily. So #1, you do not need to be an expert. And #2, you have something that can be duplicated down because you can simply tell your team members or tell your new associates, look at this video. This is how you can learn about the compensation plan. Okay, so that I hope that helps. Huh? Okay, now, then the other thing is, what do you really want to achieve? I'm just going to give you some idea of what fully utilizing or fully working on a comp plan in this business can actually get you, right? So this is actually the 2019, that means the latest income disclosure statement that has been published by Asea. And to date, Asea has paid out over 200 million to thousands of associates already, right? Now, so just a quick overview. If you are a Director 300, okay? Some of you might be very new in the business and do not know these terms yet. Do not worry, we'll be covering some of them later on. But say you're at the rank of a Director 300, you are looking at something like a monthly low of $143, a monthly average of $582, and a monthly high of about $3,000 over dollars, right? So it can be quite a range. So you have a monthly low, a monthly average, and also a monthly high, right? Now, in fact, I remember some time ago, somebody shared that for a lot of families, they found that the reason for divorce could actually be as little as $500. So imagine even at the Director 300 level, you can have an extra $500 that could actually help quite a number of families if they happen to be in that kind of situation, right? So that's for Director 300, one of our entry-level ranks, okay? Then, of course, you move up to the executive ranks, which is one of the first one is a bronze. So as a bronze, you can expect something between $1,200 to about $7,000 over dollars already as an Asea bronze executive. We have, of course, the diamond ranks. Okay, all of us on this call, I'm guessing we're all aspiring to be a diamond in the near future, in the very, very near future, I hope. So you are looking at something between $12,000 to as high as $33,000. And of course, we have the ambassador level diamonds, which are averaging around starting from $38,000 to almost $283,000. Now, that is income level that is way better than quite a number of CEO level executives already in the corporate business, right? So it is all possible once you work the business and once you work the compensation plan. So I just want to give you guys a very quick overview, and these are the 2019 income disclosure statements that were officially published by Asea. Okay, so let's get going. So the compensation plan is actually very interesting. We have 8 separate ways to get paid. We are not going to have time to go through all of them in detail, but these are the 8 separate ways. Okay, there are actually 8 ways to get paid in Asea. So you do not need to know every one of them. In fact, tonight we will actually start from retail, preferred customer, fast start bonus, director bonus, and we will end at team commissions. The rest of the 3, which is executive momentum pool, check match, and diamond pool, we will only touch on them in a subsequent video, which I think Julie and the rest will be arranging for, right? So this compensation plan is a very interesting compensation plan because it guides you to what you want to do. For example, if you want fast profits, these are the first 4 things that you should look at, right? If you want residual income, focus on the next 2, which are your team commissions and executive momentum pool. And of course, if you are looking for something like the 200 over 1,000, 300,000 kind of monthly income, you are looking at legacy building income, then you need to really take advantage of the check match as well as the diamond pool, which will be covered in a later training. Now, just some quick basics about our compensation plan that we need to understand because it's good to know. Basically, 50% of total global volume is paid out weekly to associates. That means, in other words, if the company has a revenue of 100 million this week, for example, then $50 million would actually be paid out to associates, depending on how you work the comp plan or work the compensation plan. So some parts of it will be going to certain parts of the 8 ways. So just be very confident to know that 50% of all total global volume are paid out to associates. Okay. The second thing is we are also very lucky and fortunate because we are paid on a weekly basis. So you do not need to say work for an entire month before you see your income coming in. You can literally do something this week and expect to get paid next week. Okay. So you can do something this week and expect to get paid next week. So we are paid on a weekly basis. In fact, the weekly commission week is for USA time, so it's Eastern midnight on a Friday. Okay, so Eastern midnight on a Friday. So for those of us in Asia, that would kind of put it in around Saturday early morning for most of us here in Asia or in Australia. Okay, and commissions are only paid when you have product volume or revenue generated. So product volume, in this case, you're going to see the letters PV appear quite often. So PV can stand for 2 things, product volume or personal volume. So in this case, every product that either a customer or a preferred customer or an associate buys, that it will generate some form of product volume, and every product has a product volume. So understand that commissions can only be paid when on a weekly basis you do generate a product volume in your business. Now, this is something that sometimes people get hung up over, is that this is a business, so you need to generate volume or product volume before you can actually earn a commission. So be very clear about that. And actually, this is one of the things that tells you that we are a legitimate business because we only earn commissions when there is revenue generated. Okay, and this is the very first step for all of us. We all just need to be active, and by being active, it just means you have 1 purchase of 1 case of Asea Redox, Asea Renew 28, and that means it's 100 product volume each month, and that means you're active. And that includes customer volume as well. I will talk a little bit more about this when we move on to about retail bonuses, okay? So being active simply means the easiest way to be active is with AutoShip. Now, all of you should be quite familiar with AutoShip. Essentially, that is the fastest, easiest way to remain active, and is hassle-free, is fast-free. You do not need to worry about it anymore. Just ensure that you have 1 AutoShip in place, okay? Then, of course, because of AutoShip, at the same time, you're also going to be earning what we call loyalty rewards points, okay? LRP in this case stands for loyalty rewards points. So you earn fast-free way to make sure you're staying active. At the same time, you earn something extra called loyalty rewards points. We have all the documentations in the back office on what you can do with the loyalty rewards points and how to redeem them. If you want more information, you can look it up, or we can also address them later on during the Q&A. Okay. Now, except for Thailand and Philippines, just a very quick highlight. Effective July, I think it was the 3rd week of July, except for these two countries, which is Thailand and Philippines, if you have happened to have team members in these two countries, being active for them in Thailand and Philippines, they only need to maintain a 50 PV or 50 product volume. That means 2 tubes of Renew 28 or 2 bottles of Asea Redox. Okay, so except for Thailand and Philippines, there are 50 PV to stay active. The rest of us, we stay active by having 100 PV. Okay, and last but not least, all the magic begins when you stay active. Okay, so the compensation plan starts with you being active, and you need to maintain a monthly single case purchase on auto ship or not on auto ship of 100 PV. Okay. Now, just to be clear, subsequently down the line, or even the the income disclosure statements that we made earlier on, all the dollar values are based on US dollars. So just convert them accordingly to your local currency if you need to. Okay, so I'm talking about this based on US dollars. Okay, the very first way of getting paid is retail sales. Okay, we do have an avenue called retail sales. This is the very first way of getting paid in the compensation plan, and it's very simple. Basically, as an associate, you get the products at a wholesale price, and you can literally sell them to your customers or to friends and family at a retail price. There is a retail pricing, also all clearly indicated in the back office, and you basically make the difference. Okay, you basically make the difference. So the easiest way is simply to send them to your Asea link. So all of us should have a link like this. Okay, so replace xxx.myasealife.com. Just replace the XXX with the username or the user ID that you have created during your enrollment process. If you're not familiar with that, you can check that in your back office, or you can also ask your working sponsor on what is exactly your own personal username. And the other thing is the XXX over there, you can also change it to another name that you want, as long as it's not taken by anyone else. So the easiest way to earn retail is to send them to this link. And when people buy from this link as a retail customer, the difference will be paid out to you in the following commission week. Okay, so if you want to earn retail bonus, if your friends say, I'm not interested to becoming a member or an associate or anything like that, and they say, I just want to buy and support you, or I just want to buy and try, then send them to this link, to your own personal link, and the difference will be paid to you. So for example, in Sing dollars, a case of Asea Redox is $246, whereas the wholesale price is $190, right? So you actually get a difference of about $50 that will be paid to you in the next commission week. Okay, and the other thing good about your retail bonus or your retail volume is that it actually counts towards your personal volume. So remember I said to be active, you need 100 PV per month, right? If you have one retail customer that buys a single case of Asea Redox, for example, that will actually also keep you active as an active associate already. Okay, so that is a very interesting part about retail customers. Okay, and any remaining volume above 200 PV will be added to your lesser leg volume. Okay, so as a quick example, some of you might not be able to visualize it, but let's take a quick example here. So say for example, you have 5 retail customers who each buy a case of, say, Asea Redox or Renew 28, which is 100 PV each, right? So that totals to 500 PV. Okay, so you have 5 retail customers, they total to 500 PV. Now, 200 PV would count towards your personal maintenance volume. Okay, and the 300 that is in excess, that means 500 minus 200, you have balance of 300, right? The 300 PV that comes from your retail customers will then float to your lesser leg volume. So again, if you're really new to this and you do not know what is lesser leg, we will talk about this in a bit. But essentially, you have 2 legs, one left and one right. So the lesser leg volume, that is the lower of the 2, the 300 PV will count towards that, and then you earn team commission based on that 300 PV. Okay. The second way to get paid is what we call the preferred customer bonus. The preferred customer bonus. Now, what is the difference between a preferred customer and a retail customer? In essence, a preferred customer, there are two things. They get to enjoy the products at a wholesale price. That means exactly like an associate, except that they must buy it on a monthly auto ship basis. Okay, they must buy the products on a monthly auto ship basis. Now, the other thing is this. They also do not need to buy a case of product. They can be on auto ship on even just a single tube of, say, the cleanser. They can do that, right? But that is still active. So that is what a preferred customer means. They need to have an active auto ship at any point in time. Then they must transact one time per month to ensure they stay as a preferred customer. Okay. Now, what are the advantages of a preferred customer towards us as associates or us, those of us who are building the business? For every single case of product that a preferred customer buys, you actually will earn $25 towards that order. Okay. Now, and you will earn 50 PV or 50 commissionable volume based on a single case of purchase. Now, this is the part that confuses quite a number of us. The problem with this is that, okay, for a preferred customer, a case of Asea Redox does not count as 100 PV towards your team volume. It only counts as half. That means it only counts as 50 PV, okay, towards your volume, okay. But to the preferred customer, it is still 100 PV. That means, let me just repeat that again. To the preferred customer, they are still looking at 100 PV. They will earn loyalty rewards points based on the 100 PV. But when it comes to you as an associate, as an associate building the business, it only counts as half. Why? Because you already get a $25 per case per order from each preferred customer commission from there. It's very, very lucrative. And I'll show you an example now. Okay. Imagine if you have 6 preferred customers in a month, right? And every one of them order just a case of Renew 28 or a case of Asea Redox. You are actually going to get $25 from each of these 6 preferred customers. In essence, in total, you get $150. Now, because they are on auto ship as well, in the month of February, you're going to get the same 6 customers, same 6 preferred customers, you make $150. Same for March. And same for the rest of the coming months, okay? So a preferred customer can be very, very lucrative for some beginning associates or associates who are just starting out, because it really can be quite substantial in terms, if you just look at this, if you have 6 to 8 preferred customers, it essentially already covers your monthly expenditure for a case of Asea Redox already, right? So this is one of the very lucrative ways for fast profits or fast bonuses if you want to look at it. Okay. So the average preferred customer bonus comes in at about 50 on average, and $1,000 for top earners who literally very, very fervently, or you make use of this preferred customer as a form of a business angle or business sector that they are focusing on. So you can earn up to $1,000 for some of the top earners. So it is, like I said, very, very lucrative. Okay. So about preferred customers, some additional notes. Again, they must be on auto ship. Okay, they must be on auto ship. The moment they do not, or the moment they stop their auto ship, which they can. Now, one of the good things about our company is that we can cancel auto ships at any point in time. There's no compulsion, right? This is always a selling point that I always tell my team and my customers. We make it fuss-free and hassle-free to cancel, right? But the moment they do that, they actually revert to a retail customer straight away. Okay, they revert to a retail customer straight away. Now, for these customers or these preferred customers, if they've done that and they want to get back to being a preferred customer, they actually have to call up Asea support again and tell them to reinstate their preferred customer. Otherwise, they are buying something, they will be buying it on the retail price already. Okay. And the other very interesting thing is this, it's also a bonus for the preferred customer. They earn loyalty rewards points just like associates, exactly like associates. In other words, if they start at a 5% tier, and they also will move up the tier from 5 to 10 to 15 to 20, right? We have this loyalty rewards tiers, which starts at 5 and goes up to a maximum of 20%. the preferred customer earns loyalty rewards points based on that as well. So for every case they buy, if they're at the 5% tier, they will earn 5 points. If they're at the 20% tier, they will earn 20 points. Okay, that is a very, very good thing that keeps a lot of preferred customers staying on as preferred customer as well. In essence, every couple of months they have enough points to redeem for free products. Okay, so one case of Redox is 100 points, but it counts as 50 commissionable volume for you as an associate, right? And for the PC, they will earn 5 points as a loyalty rewards points if they're at 5% tier, 20 points if they're at the 20% tier. And again, for preferred customer, their volume will count towards your personal volume for maintenance as well. Okay, the exact same thing as retail customer. So again, by this time round, if you're trying to keep yourself active, you cannot just rely on one preferred customer. You actually need 2 preferred customers, because one preferred customer, if they order a case of product, it only counts as 50 commissionable volume or 50 PV. You actually need 2 preferred customer or one customer who orders 2 cases to actually keep you active as an associate. Okay, and same thing applies. Any remaining volume will be added to your lesser leg. So any volume above 200 points will be added to your lesser leg volume and paid out to you in terms of team commissions, which we'll touch on in a bit. Okay, so this is the part that sometimes confuses us. Just be very clear. If you have, let's say you're an executive, if you're an executive or an associate, if you have 4 preferred customers, each buying a case of Asea Redox, you only have 200 points. Okay, so 4 times 50 is 200, and there will be nothing that will move towards your lesser leg. But if you have more than 4, let's say you have 6 preferred customer, then you have 100 points that will flow towards your lesser leg. Okay, so far I hope this has been clear. So we are moving on to the next one, which is called the I know we will have time at the back for Q&A. So those of you who have questions, either type it into the chat box, and Julie will take care of them later on when we have Q&A. Okay. So the next part is, which is very interesting, is called the Fast Start Bonus. The Fast Start Bonus. Now this bonus is applicable only one time, and during enrollment when you enroll a new associate. Okay. And you know that we have various types of enrollment packages. For the company, it depends on which country you are in. It varies from country to country. So what you see here may not apply to your own domestic market. So please do just take a look at your own back office and understand what are the packages involved. But essentially, you get 20% of the full commissionable volume as a fast start bonus. Okay, so it's called a fast start bonus. Okay, fast start bonus. So for example, if someone picks up the entrepreneur pack at 1,000 over CV, commissionable volume, you actually will get the maximum of $200. Now there is a cap for this fast start bonus, and that is for any single enrollment, it can be only a maximum of 1,000 commissionable volume or 1,000 points. Okay, so if somebody picks up the business pack, which is normally 400 commissionable volume, then you get $80. And also if somebody picks up a personal pack that is 150 CV, you'll get about $30, right? $30 in US dollars, okay, converted to your local currency for your commissions. Okay. So again, a quick example for you. Say you have 4 new enrollments this week, and these 4 new enrollments, they all picked up the business pack, which is about 400 points or 400 commissionable volume. So in essence, every one of them at 20% will give you $80 in fast start bonus for each of these new enrollments that you have signed up, or new enrollments that you have opened up for the week, right? So in essence, your fast start bonus for this week will be $320, okay? And this is on top of the other bonuses that you might have if you're eligible for them, say things like team commissions and so on, right? So just from fast start bonus, if you enroll 4 new persons this week at a business pack, you will get $320. On average, the fast start bonus paid out to associates is about $100 per week. And the top earners, again, are utilizing this, making full use of this. You can make up to $1,500 per week from top earners if you're a top earner and you focus on your fast start bonus. Okay, so again, it's a very, very lucrative portion of the compensation plan for all of us. So certain notes, some quick notes about the fast start bonus. Not to be confused with something called the fast forward. So there is something called the fast forward, which is actually an incentive scheme. So I'm just going to touch on it very quickly. Again, if you want more information, please look at your back office. The fast forward is something that is an incentive scheme that the company wants to encourage you to sign up four new associates in a span of 2 weeks. Okay, 4 new associates in a span of 2 weeks, and you get to enjoy certain incentives that will be entitled. And it is slightly different from market to market. So please go to your back office in your own local market and take a look at what are the fast forward incentive schemes for you. Very common mix up here. What we get when we enroll a new associate is called fast start bonus. And there's a one-time payout, okay, for fast start bonus. There is something called a fast forward, which is an incentive scheme. So don't confuse the two, okay? Don't confuse the two. And for fast start bonuses, they are only paid once to an active associate. Again, like I said, the magic begins when you're an active associate. So for all things, please make sure that you're active. If, say, you recommended a friend and the friend becomes an associate and he picks up an entrepreneur pack, which should entitle you to anywhere from $160 to $200. But if you are not active, right, then this fast start bonus will be paid to the next active associate above you. Okay, so again, very important. When you enroll somebody, make sure that you are active. Once you're active, that fast start bonus will be paid out to you. Otherwise, it floats up to the next active associate above you. Just a quick note here, I didn't highlight here, but if, say, you are not active this week, right? You enroll a new person on Monday, you have up to Friday to just make yourself active by, say, purchasing a single case of Asea Redox. And once you're active, your next commission week, you will still get the fast start bonus. You see, I make the mistake, right? So you will still be entitled to the fast start bonus because of the new sign up on Monday, right? So even though during sign up, you were not active, that means when you enroll a new friend, you were not active, you can actually just make yourself active by the end of the same commission week. And again, just to recap, fast start bonus is capped at 1,000 PV, which means a maximum of 200 per enrollment. Okay, so a new associate, sometimes people buy more than 1,000 points. They buy a lot of things, right? So because they love the product so much and they buy it for, say, a lot of family members. So if that's the case, it is still capped at 1,000, which is $200 maximum per enrollment. Okay, the next interesting part of the compensation plan on the bonus is what we call the director bonus. Okay, the director bonus. Now, director bonus is quite similar to the fast start. It's also one time. Okay, so upon enrollment for you, when you're a new associate, some of you may be very new here. So if you are a new associate and within the next 2 weeks, okay, within the next 2 weeks, you're able to enroll a personal. I'm sorry, my neighbors are a bit noisy now. I hope you all cannot hear because I'm using something to kind of cut out the background noise. Okay, so if you're able to enroll a new person on the left and a new person on the right, a new associate with each 100 PV each, then essentially you become a director. Okay, you become a director. And if you're able to do this within 14 days from enrollment, okay, you will be entitled to the one-time one-time director bonus of $50. Okay, just note this is only paid out to you one time, and it's an incentive for you to kind of make up for the, say, the enrollment fee, for example. Okay, it's a $50 fast start director bonus. Director bonus. Okay, so 14 days. So you also earn fast start bonuses for the 2 associates you sponsor, and that's a minimum of $40 to $400 depending on what they pick up. So if they pick up just a personal pack each, then it's $40. But if they both pick up an entrepreneur pack, potentially you can make $400, okay, for the 2 new associates you sign up. Okay, why would you want to encourage your team members to take advantage of this director bonus, or why would you yourself want to take advantage of the director bonus? If some of you on the call are very new to this and you have barely started, the reason is because if you earn the director bonus, the chances of you becoming a bronze is 13 times higher. Okay, that's a good odds to have, right? And if you earn the director bonus, the chances of you becoming a diamond is 15 times higher. Okay, so I see no other better reason to share with your team members that they need to go for this director bonus, because they are 13 times more likely to become bronzes, okay, which can earn them a average of $2,000 a month, or a diamond, which is averaging about $20,000 a month, right? So these are very good odds to have. So again, some quick notes about director bonus. You actually have 2 full commission periods to achieve this. Okay, you actually have 2 full commission periods to achieve this. Now, the easiest way to think of this is like this. Okay, say you enroll personally, you sign up and join Asea on a Wednesday, right? The very first Friday that you come up to is considered Friday 0. Okay, it's considered Friday 0. So you have up to Friday 2 to achieve the signing up of 2 associates, one on the left and one on the right. Okay, let me repeat that. The easiest way to think of this is that the very first Friday that you come up to, okay, is considered Friday 0. So you have up to 2 other Fridays to achieve signing up a person on the left and the right to achieve your director bonus. So in essence, most of us, all of us actually, would have at least 14 days, and it could potentially have up to 20 days to achieve this, okay? Because you have 2 full commission periods to achieve this. This is the part that confuses some of us. In essence, this is the easiest way I can help my team to understand. So always think of the first Friday that they hit as Friday 0, and then they have 2 other Fridays, Friday 1 and Friday 2. And by the end of Friday 2, they have to achieve the new sign up of left and right, 1% each. Okay, and now we are down to the very last commission plan portion that we're talking about today, and that is team commissions. And honestly, most of us, quite a number of us, would be focusing on this quite a bit, and this is the part that you may want to understand a little bit more. Okay, so once you are a director, meaning you have enrolled a person on your left and on your right, then you are also known as binary qualified. Okay, let me repeat that. You're known as binary qualified, okay, or binary active. So if you only have yourself and you're active with 100, you are still entitled to the director bonus, the fast start bonus, and the preferred customer and retail bonuses, right? But you're not eligible for team commissions until you are binary active. And this becomes, when you're a director, you are binary active, which means you are qualified for team commissions, okay? So in essence, our business is about building a left team and building a right team. So all of us builds a left team and all of us builds a right team. Now, once you log into your back office, you can see people on your left and on your right. It does not matter whether they were brought in by yourself or by your team. It could also be spillovers from your upline teams. As long as you can see them in your left and your right team, all the product volume that they generate will become part of your commissionable volume, okay? So in essence, the easiest way to understand this is by looking at an example. So let's say for this particular week, your left team, all the members on your left, they consume up to a total of 6,000 commissionable volumes. That could mean 60 cases of Asea Redox or 30 cases or whatever combination there is, right? So say, for example, 60 cases of Asea Redox was purchased on your left team, which gives you 6,000 CV, right? On your right, you have 5,000 CV. Now, team commissions is on the lesser leg. In this case, it's 5,000. So 10% of 5,000, you'll be paid $500 for this particular commission week, okay, for this particular commission week. And because on your greater leg, you have 6,000 points, right? So there will be a carryover of 1,000 commissionable volume to the next week for your left team, okay? So for the following week, your left team will start with 1,000, but your right team will start from scratch again, okay? That is what we call carryover. So it doesn't matter. You do not have to be too concerned about whether it is balanced or not. That is not the main idea. The main idea is that you always will have some carryover from time to time, Okay, so that is team commission. So 10% on 5,000 is 500, and that will be paid out to you in the next commission week. For team commissions, there is actually a cap. There's actually a cap of $10,000 per week. The cap of $10,000 per week. Well, $10,000 per week is pretty good, a good amount of change for quite a lot of people, right? Okay, so it's 10,000 per week at a cap. Okay, some of you might be churning in your head right now and thinking, but I just didn't BK just say that some of the top ambassador earners are making a couple of $100,000 a month, sorry. So if 10,000 a week, that's only 40,000, right? So something for you to think about. Where is the rest of the money coming from? Okay, but we leave that to the second part of our training. Okay, so how do you actually place people in your team to earn team commissions, etc., right? Now, always remember you are building a left team and a right team. And when you build a left team and a right team, your responsibility is always to just build on the outside left and on the outside right. Okay, so whenever you enroll a new person, you are always placing people on your outside left or on your outside right. Okay, the people on the inside that is grayed out in this diagram here, they are the responsibility of your other team members. Okay, so if you cover up the top apex, which is you, and you bring it down, say from the left, you will notice that everyone basically has their own left and their own right. Everyone has a left team and a right team, and they will all take care of their own outside left and their outside right. Okay, so just take note of this. This is a very simple way of remembering how to place your people. There are some other strategies or considerations that we will touch on maybe in the Q&A. But in essence, if you're not too sure of how to place people, talk to your working sponsor and your working upline. They will be able to guide you in great detail. So again, for team commission payouts, on average, it's about 200 a week, and you can go up to the maximum of 10,000 for the top earners per week. Okay, we are talking about per week, right? So 200 on the average end, and then 10,000 per week for team commissions. So again, it is a very, very highly lucrative portion of the commission. But again, I also like to tell people that it's only possible when you are generating revenue in terms of product. You're moving products. So when you move products, it is a real business. When you actually move products, then you also would be able to gain advantage or take advantage of all these commission or compensation plans. Okay, so the next part is, this is something that I helped my team to understand a little bit better on what is next for them. So I'm just going to go through quite quickly with you. But in essence, sometimes when we look at the compensation plan and we kind of think, it's a bit, like I said, you do not need to be an expert, right? So what exactly do you, let me just dilute it down, or maybe just make it simpler for everyone to understand in a way, right? So what's next? The very first thing to do is, if you are not already a director, that is the first order of the day, right? So become a director, okay? So if you're new to the business, if you're new to the call today, the first order of business is become a director. Or if you're telling a team member on how to guide people, tell them to do this as well. Teach their new members to become a director, meaning to sign up somebody on the left and somebody on the right. Okay. Then the second order of the day is, the second task for them is learn to become a director 300. Okay, learn to become a director 300. This is the second rank that we are in Asea, right? So one of the most basic ranks, but it's very important. So becoming a director 300 means you have on your left side, okay, and your right side, you each have a team of, say, 3 persons or maybe more. If let's say the person is not ready, you may want to find the next person, but at least generating 300 volume on the left and 300 volume on your right. Okay, so that when you have this structure here for that week, you become what we know as a director 300. Okay, you become a director 300. Okay, so you have one person active on the left, you have one person active on your right, and you have at least 300 volume on left and right, and you become a director 300. So very simple. First order of the day, become a director. Second thing you want to do is become a director 300, and this is only one time, right? And the third thing you want to do is aim to become a director 300 weekly. Okay, aim to become a director 300 weekly. So when you're able to do 1 and 2, you have learned how to do it once. You want to aim to become a director 300 on a weekly basis. Okay, on a weekly basis. And then remember what I said earlier on, that it doesn't matter what works, it matters what duplicates, right? So essentially you teach others to do 1, 2, and 3 from then on. Okay, so simple activity for our business is we learn to become a director 300 factory. Okay, we learn to become a director 300 factory. Okay, so now that we have some idea of the compensation game plan, so what I'm going to share with you now is a bit of like a game plan, and this is something that I suggest to my team. Again, depending on how you want to take it, I'm just sharing it with you. You can implement it in your team as well. But what I always suggest to my team is very simple. You want to be building 2 teams, right? One left team and a right team. So on your left, you want to find at least 3 persons that are like you, that want to build a business like you. So you have 3 persons on the left and 3 persons on the right. So you have the left team of 3 persons at least who wants to build a business like you. Okay, and 3 persons on the right that also want to build a business like you. And with this structure, you essentially become a director 300, right? Now, again, the order of the day is duplication. So I've placed the rank requirements on the left for you. So a director 300, for example, you need a left volume of 300 and right volume of 300. And then the first executive rank that we want to aim for is a bronze, right? So a bronze, your requirement is 2,000 volume on the left and 2,000 volume on the right. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them in such great detail, but just to give you a brief overview, okay? So if you have a team of 3 persons on the left and you have a team of 3 persons on your right that aspire to build a business like you, for example, right? And then you tell them and teach them to do the same thing. Now watch what happens. So they go out and find the same. They find 3 active persons on the left, right. Now, if they have done exactly the same as you, so when the level on the blue level, the blue dots or the blue circles do what they have, you do the same thing, right? Then your first level people become director 300s. Okay, your first level people become director 300s, right? Now, as a director 300, every single one of them will generate how much volume for you? I give you 5 seconds to think about it. I know all of you are muted, but 5 seconds, think about it. As a director 300, how much team volume are they generating for you? So if left is 300, right is 300, then that would be 600, right? So for every 3 persons on your left and on your right, every one of them is in essence taking care of 600 points for you. So 3 times 600 is 1,008, right? Okay, so on your left team, now you have 1,800 points. On your right team, you have 1,800 points. Okay, then and you look at bronze, qualification for bronze. Bronze is left team has 2,000 and the right team has 2,000. So you're kind of shy of 200. But by the time you have found people like this, you generally would have some customers and also some other associates along the way who may not be interested in building the business, but they are also consuming the product, right? So 200 is not a problem. So by the time they become director 300s, you will become a bronze. Okay, you will become a bronze. Okay, now I know some of you, when I share this with some people and some of the team members, the first thing that comes to mind is I always think, well, this is an ideal, perfect scenario. Yes, I understand that, but what we are showing here is what we call a game plan. Okay, so your game plan is to find these people. Now, you may not be able to find that many that fast, or you may not be able to find a perfect number of 3 and 3, for example. You may be able to find 2 and 3. It doesn't matter. It just means that you continue to work towards that game plan, right? But if you do this in this way, then watch the next level. So the levels on the blue level, if they follow exactly what they do, right, they will also go and do the same, right? They duplicate what you tell them. Now, when they do that, the pink level, when they find the pink level, the blue levels will also become director 300s. And when the blue levels become director 300s, what happens to your first level? Your first level becomes, like you, bronzes. Okay. Now, imagine when you have 3 bronzes on your left and 3 bronzes on your right. Take a quick look at the volume that they generate for you as a bronze. Those of you who have seen the numbers now, you probably can guess very quickly. When you have 3 bronzes on your left and 3 bronzes on your right, what happens to you? You are a platinum. Okay, because a bronze will bring in about 4,000 volume. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12,000 is already way past a platinum, right? So you're already a platinum when you have 3 bronzes on your left and 3 bronzes on your right in your organization. Okay. Now, what happens when they become silvers? When they become silvers, you are easily a diamond. Okay, you are easily a diamond. Okay. So again, I understand that some of us are saying, well, this is a perfect duplication, a perfect scenario. Yes, I get it. That's not the point. The point is, this is a game plan or working plan that you can work towards. Okay. So if you keep in mind that I'm going to find 3 persons on my left team and 3 persons on my right team that shares my vision, that shares my belief in this, and they want to build a business as well. And it is not about us going out to find thousands of people, right? It's about us working with a close group of, say, 3 to 6 people. And if they do the same as you and they duplicate down, then in essence, this is what you have. Okay, this is what you have. And again, these are the potential income figures that we have here. Okay. So my suggestion is still point your team members to the official video by corporate, because that is still the official corporate program. I mean, the video for compensation plan. Take this video that we will be putting out as a recording anyway, as kind of like study notes, right? So that's my suggestion. Still point them towards the official corporate video, because that will still be the easiest way for them to get access to. And then just treat this video as like a study notes for yourself.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.